Hey everybody, Mr. Regan here, and today we've done a lot to begin exploring these ideas of shared structures and how different organisms are related to one another. And we're going to be diving into an article today that's going to help us understand this a little deeper and to help us really answer that focus question as to why do different organisms have similar and shared structures. Now, the video we're going to be watching here is going to be focusing on how to create the three types of annotations. So this will be a quick review of that and how we're going to be summarizing the sections below the images within the articles. So we're going to be doing a little more than just what we normally do when we annotate. So let's go ahead and take a look. Today, we're going to be reading an article where we'll annotate and summarize. And the article is called How Are You Like a Blue Whale? Kind of a weird question, but it will be answered in the article. We're going to be starting this, we'll be starting today's investigation now that we've understood and looked into shared structures, looking to answer our investigating question here. Why do different species share similar structures? So we can figure out why our mystery fossil looks like so many organisms we know today. So as we continue our investigation, we're going to be looking at this unique relationship between whales and us to help us not only answer this question, but again, help us figure out what's going on with the mystery fossil. So we know that as we read, we will be using our active reading skills and working on an additional reading strategy. Our active reading skills are annotating by asking questions, making connections, identifying new or difficult vocab, and the strategy we're going to be using today is summarizing what we read. So we know how to ask questions as we read to help us understand what we're looking at. We understand how to make connections between what we've read and learned. We understand how to identify different vocab, but we're also going to be summarizing what we read today. I'll show you how. Before we get into that, there's a video here if you feel you need. Hit the help button on the next slide and you can find this slideshow to watch this. This is a quick reminder of how to annotate, how to highlight, how to do that sort of stuff. It's there if you need it. With that, we know that strong readers will often pause after a chunk of text and revise their thinking. Then they'll write a quick summary to help the ideas of what they read stick in their brain. Our annotations today are going to help us figure out what we are reading, but what we summarize today will help us remember those big ideas. So it's about that idea of sticking in our head. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to summarize the main ideas of the paragraphs found under each of the three images. We have three images in our article. One's of the whale, one's of this interpreting evolutionary tree, and one's of this little mouse creature here. And underneath each one will be a set of paragraphs. Your job is to summarize the main idea of all the paragraphs under the image. Each summary will need to be 3 to 5 sentences that you'll annotate and simplify the big ideas. Your summary will need to be its own annotation within the article. So as you annotate your questions and your connections and your vocab, you'll have a final annotation, okay, at the end of the paragraphs that will summarize the big ideas, okay? So what that would look like here is if I'm in the article itself, underneath the whale, I have 1, 2, 3 paragraphs. I might highlight some of the last sections here and make an annotation, and this is where I would put my summary. Same idea. After I read all the paragraphs under the next picture here, 1, 2, I'd come to my end, I hit my notes, and I would summarize. And I'd do the same after the last one, okay? So you'll need to make your own choices about what to summarize based on all the important information you come across as you read. You can't decide what's important. Ask yourself our focusing question. Why do different species share similar structures? If your summary focuses on answering this question based on what you read, you more than likely will have a great summary. So, do you feel like you know how to create the 3 types of annotations, questions, connections, and tough vocab? Do you understand how to summarize the 3 sections under the images? Reach out if you put your X in yellow or red. Otherwise, good luck.